I'm gonna teach you guys how to paint 4 paintings at once. Obviously, these two are gonna be alike, so it'll be easy, and these two are alike, so it's gonna be easy, but this was a custom request. So I'm just gonna show you the steps that I would take to do all these 4 in the same time. Probably like 2 to 3 hours for all 4. At first, I'm just gonna get the yellow and the pink that I'm gonna use. I pre-bought the pink for Patrick, because I didn't want to mix it, but we're going to be shading anyway, so I'll teach you that as we go. Then I take both of your SpongeBobs and paint them all yellow for a base coat. Except for the side of the SpongeBobs, because we're going to mix a color to make it darker for depth. And I know it's a pain in the ass to have your pencil do this, but I would just run back over it in a motion like this, the way that the pencil is going, to make it just seem like it's gonna get shaded. The pencils and colors will probably always look a little sketchy like that until the very end. You just gotta trust the process. When we start shading these pencil lines, these will just seem to disappear. And you don't have to paint them all alike. If you're painting 4 different paintings and still want to paint them all at once, just take the yellow or the first color you're using and use it on all the canvases where it needs to go first. Even if it's not a SpongeBob and a SpongeBob. If there was yellow in the Patrick, I'd take the yellow after I was done with the SpongeBobs and I'd put the yellow where it needs to go in the Patrick. Also, sorry to my friends on Snapchat. This is going to be a really long video, so just skip through it if you don't want to learn how to paint. And don't unfriend me. I just don't know how to edit videos for YouTube, so I just save my story and upload it. Some people think you can't use the same brush. I literally wipe it on my pants and get the next color I need, and it works fine. I'm going to do the same thing I did to the Patricks that I did to the SpongeBob. 1 base coat on each. And then we're going to get to the fun part where we shade shit. Also, I maybe use a smaller brush for the eyes and stuff, but you don't have to. I'm going to use this for all the base coat and all the shading. And for this painting, just to show you guys, I'll use it on the whole paint. I don't usually use this pink. It is really blotchy, so I will put 1 more coat when I'm done. But a way to get it away without it being blotchy is literally just mix red and white. For some reason, it just comes out better than this, not blotchy. And like I said, it's shitty when you smear pencil lines, but if you just smear them in the way they're going, it creates like a natural shadow or shade. So just try to stick with that as much as possible when you're going around shapes. And if you guys want to learn to paint but don't because you think it's expensive, I use this apple barrel paint that's 50 cents a bottle, and these canvases come in a 6-pack for $12. But if you still think you're too broke, let me know and I'll give you my old paint and canvases and of course old paintbrushes. I got my base coats how I need them, so now I'm going to take my yellow, mix it with a little orange and just a tiny bit of brown and see if I can't get a good color for SpongeBob's side over here for shading. Maybe a little more brown. I'm going to take the same thing and do it to this, and then we'll use the same color to shade SpongeBob's face. For this, since it's on the face, I'm going to make it just orange and yellow without the brown, since it's not as in-depth as the sides. And then I'm just gonna outline all the pencil lines with the color that I want. Now I'm just gonna do that same thing with a tiny bit of brown for the little holes on them. Now just a little even darker brown for the ones on the side here. And you don't have to do this, but I think taking that brown and outlining this too just makes it look a little bit nicer. It's like any other marathon. Boom, and then I'm gonna go do the same thing to this one while I got the colors out. So we're gonna take that orange and yellow and just outline all the lines out of pencil. So honestly, that's the hardest part, and after this it gets way easier. I'm going to let those sit and show you how to shade the Patricks, and then we'll get to the small details and background. So I'm just going to take red and mix it with a little pink, just like I did the other color. I think that'll be good. Just like that, and then we'll do this one the same. This is where some of you could start grabbing a smaller brush, but you don't necessarily have to. I don't know, I usually use the same brush the whole way through just because you can. It's convenient. And since it's a little thicker right here than I wanted, I'd just scoot this line back a little bit. Still make it go just around. Still outline this the way you would. The reason I don't mind too much is because when I get done, I'll put white highlights through here, which again, you don't have to. And I'll also outline it in Sharpie, which again, you don't have to. These are just things that I do for, a little more realism. I'm going to do the same shading method for the pants here. I'm going to paint them all one color. This brown real quick. I made his pants a little lighter brown than they are, but that's alright for what I'm going to do. Because I'll shade it with this darker brown. And then dark brown on the side here just gives it this look that makes it look like it's a darker brown even though it's not. Well, I'm really dumb and didn't realize he had a shirt on, so I'll show you how to fix it. Perfect opportunity. I'm going to paint it white where I want the shirt, obviously. Man, I messed up. I'm a retard. Alright, quick fix. So I just painted it white. I left it a little brown so it looks kind of like shading because, like I said, I'm going to outline this black when I'm done, so it'll look fine. Add back that shadow line so it looks a little more cut off. Whoa. Maybe a little less liquor next time, but we're gonna paint their tie red now. And it doesn't need a little depth, but if you want to give it to it, just take your brush while it's red and hit that white and just go right in the middle. And just shade it until it looks right. Then just shade that red with the white till it looks right. Tight. And in the picture, the tears look white, but I'm gonna hit it with a little blue just to give it a little extra color. I think that looks nice. So while I got the blue out for the tears, I'm just putting it on his little spit here so it matches because I know these paintings will be hung together. And I think it just looks right, even if it's white in the picture. And I should have taken that pink I had when I was using Patrick to do the tongue here, but I forgot. And also the gums up here. Doesn't have to be perfect on the lines because I outline everything with a Sharpie. And again, you don't have to do this, but I think it looks a little weird that the gums and the tongue are the same color. So I'm going to take some red and put it in the tongue. Not too much, but just enough. And again, totally not necessary, but while I have that pink out, I think it makes it look a little better to put a little line around the eyes. So it kind of looks like veins or something. So I try not to use black in my paintings, except for the Sharpie when I outline. But I'm using them for the eye sockets. So when I get done with this black, I'm going to take the black while it's wet on my brush and mix it with a little white and shade the outside of his shirt and I'll show you when I get there, but you want to do it while you have the black on your brush from this. And if you don't have black on your brush, just take a little bit and wipe it off and then put it in the white and wipe it off a little bit more. But then you want to go around the outside with the gray like this. And if you wanted to shade it more in depth, you could take a little more white just like this and bring it in the middle here. See how I'm just pulling it in from the darkness? Where it's dark, I'll take the lighter paint and bring it this way. And see, it's kind of dark or whatever, but I just like more colors in my painting. I'm gonna do it to the shirt, but you totally wouldn't have to. You could just outline that with Sharpie if you wanted. I just like the extra depth. Again, not necessary, but I'm just taking a little white while I got that black on the brush, and I'm just putting this around the shapes that I'm gonna outline with Sharpie, and a darker gray around here. And it always helps to look at pictures, but after you do it for so long, you'd know that like a line would go right here for the pants and the shirt to separate, obviously, and then you do the same color across here. I'm gonna fix that, obviously, make it look real shaded in, but that's how you do it. Obviously, just make a little darker on that side over here, because that's the side that we pointed away that you wouldn't see. But yeah, that's the most black I'd want to use until we get to the final process, which would be with a Sharpie. And it doesn't have to be perfect at all until you get to the Sharpie part. That Sharpie is what will bring everything together. So even though this looks two different colors, which it is, once I add Sharpie, that'll disappear. I'll probably even add a little more black, but just know the Sharpie is what what finishes a painting. That's why they always say trust the process, because by the time you get to the end, you'll know what you have to do to make it right. Kind of like a relationship, if you're into those. You know what to do right. Sometimes you don't want to do it, but if you have patience, it works out. See? Just do the same thing on the second painting while you got it out with the same colors. Again, that's the darkest black I would want to use probably. And then literally just wipe my brush on my pants, take my black, wipe it off. Oh, actually, no, I don't want to do that. Hold on. Wipe it off again. Pick up a big scoop of white. And then bring it in from the outside. I was doing that backwards. My bad. I was trying to go from white to black. We want to go from black to white. So we want to have the black on the brush and then hit it with a little white. And again, though, even though I only use Sharpie when I outline, while I have the black out, I'll do the inside of his mouth. You could do this with Sharpie. It would probably be easier, but I said I was going to use the same brush the whole time, so here we are.
Happy birthday.
When I get done, I'll still use Sharpie to outline, but if it's bigger spaces like this, I'd go ahead and get the paint out.
And then you get to be the first person in the shower.
Like I said, you don't have to, especially if you have a good Sharpie, which I never do because I use them so much, but there's so much area to cover, I'd just get the paint out. So now I got the paintings looking how I want them, besides for the white highlights and Sharpie. And I'm going to do the backgrounds first before I do that. I think it looks better to do the background before you finish the painting, because then you can decide if you want to outline it with Sharpie or if you don't want to, because you don't have to. But what you never want to do is take more shots before you finish the background. And yeah, definitely you don't want to do the background after drinking, especially if you're doing straight lines like I'm going to. Fuck, I look crazy because my eye popped, but I'm not popped. Just the eye is. Anyways, we're going to do the background and then finish it. And these are all going to be brought together and look like a family. And normally I'd be doing my style rainbow in the background. That's my shit. But he wants it all to come together and be certain colors. So I'm going to take the colors from SpongeBob and make it Patrick's background. I'm going to take the colors from Patrick and make it SpongeBob's background. Because they're all going to be hung together. So I think that would look best. And initially he wanted yellow behind yellow SpongeBob and pink behind pink Patrick. But I said, bro, if they're all four going together, let's put the yellow behind the Patrick and the Patrick behind the SpongeBob. And when I was using the colors, I should have put the fucking pep in the sweat. But I forgot. So yeah, just get your blue back out. Round these out a little bit. Make them look like a little teardrop. It'll all get outlined in black, so this shit don't matter right now. I never made a complete YouTube tutorial, so I don't know if I can interrupt, but I just want to say this guy's a complete fucking asshole. He says not to trespass and get off the lawn like Monster House. No shit. Anyways, we're finishing the background. I'm going to take SpongeBob and put him behind Patrick. So I'm going to take this color and this color. Make stripes back here. I'm going to take this pink and put it behind SpongeBob and make stripes. And then we'll outline it in Sharpie and we'll be done, y'all. So I'm going to go red, then pink around SpongeBob. So I'm going to do red and pink behind SpongeBob like that. And while I got the red out, I'm going to put the red around him and then the pink. So it's red, pink, red, pink, red, pink, red, pink. But while I got the red still, I'm going to this one instead of going to pink on that one. And I know it's really hard to pick up your paintbrush and come back. So instead of starting here where it'd be really thick, I start over here where it's thick and I thin it out where it meets. Boom. Just like that, yeah. So just like that, you got a red on red, and then you go to red to pink on both of those, and just do that until you're finished. And then you'll go yellow to orange on Patrick until you're finished. And then after you finish all that, I'll show you. You'll shade it with a little white for highlights, and then you'll outline it with Sharpie for black straight line. It's just pink to red like that, y'all, until you're finished. Red to pink, pink to red. Red to pink, pink to red. Until we're finished. It's pink to red, red to pink on both paintings until we finish. And then I'll show you how to go in with the black and white for highlights and outline. Unless you're doing rainbow or whatever colors you want, you know what I mean? I usually do rainbow. This is just for a customer, so I'm following rules. But if you want to do it like that, feel free. Boom, 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 boom. Now we're going to put the yellow and orange behind the Patricks. And then I'll show you how we finish it out. So then I'm just going to do orange to yellow on the Patrick. And after that, we're in the home stretch.
What kind of reason? You mean like you're crazy?
And then, like I'm saying, it's just backwards. Orange to yellow, yellow to orange, like SpongeBob's colors that we did.
At the bottom.
So here we are, about 4 finished paintings. I'm going to show you guys how to add white highlights, and then we'll outline with black, which is explanatory itself. But we're about done here. Before finishing, you'd probably never want to finish a whole pint, especially if you're doing like white highlights and black outlines. So yeah, don't do that.
We're gonna come over here and check out how the other half lives. This here is what we call the Crystal Palace. Now you know who lives in the palace? Meth heads. Nasty. How much you charge?
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I was talking about how I usually finish them with Sharpie, and I don't even have any good ones, so I'm not gonna finish it all with this brush, like I said. I'm gonna take this little brush and add all the black and white to finish it.
Come on, Wendy, let's see those.
I said la like I'm from Alabama. And I keep all my color on this side, so I just spin it like this before I add some black. Just gotta throw this in there. This is a regular canvas, and it's about 50 pounds from all the paint that I've put on it throughout the years. I've used this since I lived with my mom, bro, 10 years ago. And I'm just going with Patrick first because there's less to outline than on the SpongeBob's. This is where I said if it's too close, we'll just scoot it back a little. So we'll just do it like that. So it's still around the mouth, but it's just a little back. I'll even add another one. It looks nice. Hey. And again, now I'm just going to follow the pencil lines in all black. I'll add white after this. I think the white just brings out just a little bit more. I've almost finished outlining 4. I honestly have almost finished outlining 1, but I'm drinking water now. And if you drink liquor while you're painting, just know water always helps.
Yeah, I don't know. I think.
So now I'm going to add my signature on this one because it's the first one I finished. And then I'm going to outline all these. So now we outline Patrick 1. We're going to outline Patrick 2. And then go on to SpongeBob 1. That's SpongeBob 2. Okay. I wish there was, but there's some parts we can skip. I wish we could skip the part where I drink half of a fifth. I did end up getting a smaller brush for these outlines, but it'll just make it look nice in the end. Again, you don't have to. The biggest part is making sure you don't smear those black lines after you already add them. But make it a pain to fix if it's black. We're just outlining this one like that last Patrick. Finished on the second Patrick. We'll just outline it's all in black, but I'm gonna wait till I get done outlining the SpongeBob. I outlined the first 2 Patricks. I'm gonna start on these SpongeBob's. Again, just outlining the lines of the darker colors that we painted over the lighter colors. Still just outlining this black, and then I'll add the white and we'll be done. More SpongeBob after this.
I'm so nauseated that I can't.
1, 2, 3 outline. We're going on 4 and then we're done. I guess we'll outline it in white, but then we'll be done. Again, all we gotta do is go along the pencil lines with this black here. And then we'll do the same thing with white, but on the other side. The black has to hit those pencil lines. But then the good thing is the white doesn't have to hit any certain spot. Just around the black lines. Now they're all outlined before I add white highlights. So I'm just going to take this black while I have it out and put it all on the edges. I messed up the black a little on this one, so I'm just going to make it into like a little arm line. Probably just add one on this side too. Make it seem like it's supposed to be there. No big deal. Art can always be fixed. Got this one the same size. Now I just got to outline the edges. Alright, I outlined all of them in black because I think it looks best. And now I'm going to add white highlights and then we'll just call it done. I'm just going through adding white on the other side of the black and pink where I think it looks right. You can do this however you want, but... So that was the spot I said earlier wouldn't really matter because I'd cover it with white. I'm just doing the same thing around here. And again, the white highlights, they aren't necessary. I like them because I like the more color, the more better for me. I like to add the white everywhere. It might be a little extra, but yeah, I literally put it just everywhere. And then just like that, it's outlined in black, shadowed with white, shaded to perfection. They'll probably hang something like this. They look good together.